How did you meet Randy?
I met Randy at working at the Doll House in Tampa,
Right.
and we became really good friends. And uh, one thing led to another. We started just being friends, hanging out, and the next thing you knew, we fell in love.
Cool. Now, when you started hanging out with Randy, what was he like before you actually got into the business? When you first met him, what was Randy like?
I've never thought of him as Randy Savage because I kind of met him as Randy Pop, different, you know.
Right.
And he's I always like older men because they're more wiser, and I don't know, he showed me a lot about life. He taught me a lot. He
Right.
really did. He opened my eyes to things that I didn't know that existed, like having dreams and becoming something more than what I was.
Now, when you first came around the business, were a lot of the other boys hitting on you and stuff like that, or did Randy pretty much make it a point? Hey, she's with me.
I had one look walking through wrestling, and that was. I don't even think I ever made eye contact with more than one person there.
Right.
I don't even know. I don't even remember. It's kind of fun now because I'm a very social person.
Right.
It's fun now to be able to go to wrestling shows or things like we are today, and to be able to walk up to people and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Because I think they thought I was a jerk
Right.
because I never said hello, and I've always been shy. And it's not that I am at all. It's just I'm nervous. I'm a very nervous person.
Right.
And especially by being walking on eggshells, because he was jealous that I didn't know. I still don't know how to conduct myself around the other wrestlers.
Right. So none of the other boys actually hit on you at all either at first?
No.
No, because
They're very respectful to Randy.
Right.
No, not at all.
I guess when was the first time that Randy said, "Hey, do you want to make a shot at becoming a valet or something like that?" How did that come about?
That came about because I was dancing still, and I didn't want to be on television. And he told me that he needed a valet because him and Elizabeth they were divorced, but they were doing, trying to work with the Wolfpack and stuff like that, and he needed somebody to regenerate his gimmick. And we went to LA and we met Tori Wilson. And I was like, there's no way that my boyfriend is traveling on a road with that pretty of a girl without me. Oh no. So he's like, well then you know what, you have to do it.
Ha.
I was like, I'm not going on TV. And he's like, if you just try it, you might like it. And I never, to me, I always thought I was never good at anything, And then I tried it one time. And since I was a dancer, I'm used to being around people, and I like fans and having fun and
Right.
going crazy. Dressing wild is what I do. And it was kind of like my little niche, that I finally found, and I liked it.
Right. Right. What advice did Randy give you when you first started the business?
This, just when you go to work, you go to work. You don't hang out the bars after the shows. You stay to yourself. The less you get involved with other women or men, friend-wise, the less problems you have to deal with later.
Right. Now, as far as mentally preparing you, as far as getting into the business and the ring psychology and stuff like that, what advice did he give you?
Just look at me. Just watch me at all times, and it's Murphy's Law sometimes, and if things happen, they happen,
Did Randy try to teach you everything, or did Randy actually, hey, talk to her, she's been in the business for a long time, or even with Elizabeth when she was still there,
I think Randy would more, with Randy's a man's man. I think that he wants the women to be the garnish, not he doesn't want them to get hurt, and he doesn't want them to, I don't know how to explain it, he wants them to be the ornament.
Right.
And help, and he actually puts you over. He put me over,
Did any other women come up to you and give you advice when you first got to WCW at all? Or?
No one talked to me.
Okay.
I was like I said,
Ha.
there wasn't talking.
Did you think there was jealousy that, maybe you didn't pay your dues and you just came off, from...
Yeah, I'm sure, but it would be with anything, with any woman with their husband. If you were a lawyer and you needed a secretary, I'd be your secretary.
Right.
It wasn't nothing about jumping into business to be famous for me, because I really didn't care. I don't really care to be famous. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, it's fun to meet people and go places and stuff, but as of being famous, I could care less.
Right. What was your first reaction to WCW, like the atmosphere when you first got there?
It was cool because we were baby faces.
Right.
And then all of a sudden one day we turned heel, and I got hit in the face with the 9-volt battery. I thought I was shot in my face because we got in a fight with Rey Mysterio.
Right.
And I hit him and stuff, so someone really got me. But it came from like a third story balcony, hit me in my face, and there's an actual picture of me going like that because I thought I was shot.
Oh.
I swear the pain was.
I don't remember. Was it TV or was it just a house show?
No, it could have been a house show, and we were always afraid of getting hurt on house shows, so we wouldn't mess with the TV tapings.
What was your first experience like when you first came out to the ring? Do you remember who you worked or?
What?
The first time you came out to the ring with Randy? Do you remember what it was for?
They kind of threw me right in the heat, right as soon as I think it was kind of like Eric Bischoff wanted to see, okay, Randy, you want your girlfriend here? Let's throw her in the heat.
Right.
And the first day that I got there, I had to already start arguing with Charles Robinson, and it just went. I had a very short career with the wrestling,
right.
But I had a great run, and I had a great time with Randy.
When you say arguing, as far as a shoot argument or just something in the ring argument?
Argument with the show.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And for me, I'm very quiet, and I'd never talked on the mic before or yelling at somebody. And the funny part of the show was I was just supposed to yell at him, and that was it. And my adrenaline was going. I was whacking him. I don't know if you guys ever seen that, but I was like all over Charles Robinson, and when we got done, I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit you.
What were the politics like backstage? Because I know there was a lot of politics going on in WCW at the time.
In any business, there's politics, There's everything in entertainment, anything in political things is political.
All right.
It's what you're doing, who you're with. I wouldn't have been at wrestling if it wasn't for Randy, he brought me to the circus. He did. And I respect him for that.
Was there anyone in the business that seemed to be at odds with Randy? Because I know a lot of the guys always, said Randy wasn't a good guy and blah, blah, blah.
I don't think that Randy's not a good guy. I think that Randy's old school, and he's dealt with his father being wrestling, and they lived down the road half of their life, and he had a certain way of living and things that were supposed to be done the way they were, and if you didn't do it the way he wants it, I'm not having it.
Right. Now, you didn't travel at all before basically the wrestling business. You were basically, down in Florida, right?
No, I'm from the Chicago area, Rockford.
Right.
I travel a lot as being a teenager, running around the earth, going crazy.
Right. I mean, as far as the road
dancing
schedule?
Everywhere. I danced all over.
Right.
I've been dancing for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Long time.
Now, as far as the road schedule with wrestling, I mean, how did you adjust to that? Because you're in a different city every Monday when they were doing nitros and stuff like that.
Yeah, I have my son will be 12 in a couple days, and the schedule was really hectic, like 300 days a year.
Right.
And I had to actually have my sister move down, she's 23. She moved down to take care of my son while we were on the road.
Right.
And it was good. It was good because that way, because she's just like me, and I was 100% comfortable with leaving my son with my sister, so
right.
Everything was good.
How did the other women treat you in the locker room? I don't know who was there at the time besides Tori.
There was Tori, there was Asia.
Medusa, was she there at the time?
Medusa. Everybody treated me good. I love Molly Holly. She's my favorite.
Right.
And, what do you call it? Yeah, all the girls are really nice. Everybody had their own gig there. I'm sure everybody wanted time, space, certain slots, and that's just the way it is in wrestling, and, and whatever.
Now, before you started taking bumps and stuff, did anybody actually take you in the ring and show you, what to do?
Randy did not want anyone to teach me one thing.
Right.
To show me. We had hours. We even had a ring down the street from our house. He didn't want me to get hurt. He wanted to put me on a pedestal and walk around and save him. And,
right.
That's what, to me, that was his old school thing. He doesn't like women. I don't think he really digs I don't know what his views are now, but I know when I was with him, he didn't dig the chicks wrestling.
Somebody told me Molly Holly taught you how to bump and stuff like that. I don't know how true it was.
We worked out in Florida in about 120 degree steel storage bin with a ring in it.
Huh.
Oh God.
It sucked.
Did you ever see the video where I was doing the whole thing where they were just showing clips with me and Medusa?
Yes.
And excuse me.
Uh-oh. You want some water?
Cut. So anyways, it was really hot, and every time we ever tried, we were so busy. He was doing Thunder, Nitro, and he was also on the booking committee. So between that schedule and me having time to bump, it just wasn't in the cards. It was just like,
Right.
he wanted me to save him.
Uh-uh.
Me to distract, me to do my girl thing.
Right.